And now, the After the Bell podcast with Bill Neville and Lee Morgan.
Just gonna let this song play.
I absolutely love it.
I can see Lee's jamming across the table over here. That is our new intro for the After the Bell podcast. Folks, today is Wednesday, March 12th, 2014, and welcome to After the Bell podcast, episode 6. As always, I'm Bill Neville alongside my weekly counterpart, Lee Morgan. Thank you for joining us once again.
Hi.
That was a very intimate hi. It was almost like the divas from the early 2000s when they're all just sexual objects.
Oh, no. I'm sorry. I'm never going to do that again.
Hi. It's like you almost called like a 1877 number or whatever those are.
1-800-FELLA.
Yes. So thank you all for joining us once again, if you guys are listening, as this podcast continues to grow with the help of the amazing Twitter machine and the interwebs. We discussed how we have a new intro. I posted it a couple days ago, but right about a minute ago was the first time anybody but me has heard it, including Lee. So I'm happy that she liked it, and I hope all of you guys like it. First, to kick off the show, I just wanted to say a special hello to somebody. While I was away in Florida this past week, I received a message from my Uncle Gary, who also lives in Florida. I didn't get to see him because we were about 5 hours away from each other, but who I haven't seen in many, many years. This is really, really cool. It kind of made me feel like a celebrity. I passed it along to Lee. I sent her a screenshot of the message, and she deserves a large part of credit for this podcast as well, because she's helped me out since the very beginning.
I thought it was adorable, by the way.
It was, right? It's amazing. In a nutshell, Uncle Gary pretty much told me that his stepson Jax is a huge WWE fan, and said that after him viewing ATBWrestling and listening to the podcast, was like a celebrity to him. The message meant a lot to me, and it shows that hard work can pay off and influence others, no matter how old they are. So with that said, I'd like to give a shout-out on the show to Jax. I hope everything is well, buddy, and I'll be sure to chat with you sometime about wrestling, and I'd love to hear what you think is going to happen at WrestleMania 30. And tell Uncle Gary I said hi. That's just, it's so awesome. I'm so happy. Anyway, to kick off today's show, let's get to our recap and analysis of Monday Night Raw. All right, let's get this underway. Hulk Hogan, just like he did a week ago, kicked off Monday Night Raw in Memphis, Tennessee this week to tell the WWE Universe about a new match that was going to be on the card at WrestleMania 30.
Well, let me tell you something, Mempho Hulkamaniacs. I came up with a historic idea. I came up with an idea that was so intense that I couldn't wait to come to Monday Night Raw and tell all my Hulkamaniacs right here in Memphis, Tennessee, brother. So in celebrating 30 years of WrestleMania, and in honor of one of the greatest WWE superstars of all time, we're going to have an over-the-top 30-man Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal, brother. At WrestleMania 30, there'll be 30 superstars in the ring. Every one of them is going to want to make history and win the coveted Andre the Giant Memorial Trophy.
This is a new element, but not so new if you guys have been to a WrestleMania in the past or have bought a WrestleMania DVD in the past. What they used to do is they used to have a 30-man battle royal before the show started every year as kind of like a non-televised pre-show, like get the fans warmed up type of thing, to kind of give just about everyone on the roster their own WrestleMania moment.
Those are my favorite matches, by the way.
Those are fun to watch, yeah. And it was always somebody silly like Zack Ryder or somebody like that would win. And
yeah, I think he won a few years back at a Night of Champions in Boston.
Yep. And the crowd was very happy about that.
That's when he was on his whole Ryder movement
his
thing.
Ryder revolution.
Yeah, that thing.
He's kind of fallen from grace, huh?
Just a little bit.
We were discussing something before. What was Zack Ryder's video that he posted? I didn't see it, but what was it?
Last Resort.
Oh, with a Z.
With a Z.
Like Long Island iced Z.
Yeah.
Ah.
Yeah, and it's a little pipe bomb that I don't know.
With some epic music in the background.
Yeah.
It sounded like one of the old the WWE vignette production themes that Zack was playing in the background of this video. But basically, he was saying that it wasn't his dream to just make it on the roster. He wanted to be WWE champion, blah, 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 which we all know. In all likelihood, you're going to be WWE champion before Zack Ryder.
Probably.
But
you already have the title here, so.
Exactly. I'm holding it up as we speak. I wish all you guys could see it over my head because I am the WWE World Heavyweight Champion. But now with Andre the Giant added, or now with Andre the Giant's name added to the Battle Royal, it becomes far more important. And that brings us to the ATB poll question of the week. And Lee tweeted out a couple days ago saying, who do you think will be the winner of the 30-man Battle Royal at WrestleMania 30? We ask you to tweet us over at ATBWrestling and use the hashtag ATB poll with your answer. We had a couple of responses, including Big E and Cesaro. Now, we've had this discussion before we went live here that we both agree that Cesaro will be the winner.
Cesaro.
Not Antonio. Not Antonio
No.
Langston.
No.
It's Big E or Cesaro. But we picked Cesaro mainly because WWE is kind of pushing him right now. Not so much pushing for the title, but pushing him as like this kind of underdog strongman. And Cesaro in the last couple of months has done things that none of us knew he was capable of unless you watched him in the Indies or on NXT. But between the Cesaro swing and swinging, not El Torito, but swinging guys like Big E and giving his finisher to Mark Henry, he's being pushed as this crazy strong guy. And what better guy to win the Andre the Giant 30-man Battle Royal than somebody who they're pushing to be the strongest guy in the company right now. What if the Shield is not in a match on the WrestleMania card? They will probably be included in the 30-man Battle Royal, correct?
Oh, yeah, definitely.
And you could also make a case that Roman Reigns could be the one to win the Andre the Giant trophy.
I just hope it's not Cesaro versus Reigns at the end because I wouldn't know who to root for.
Yeah, that would be a tough decision. I don't know. I still think the Shield is they're gonna be in a triple threat in between the three of them. What do you think?
I don't see that happening anymore.
No?
No, I mean they still have their issues, obviously, but at this point, I mean with Rollins leaving last Monday for Dean to get Sister Abigail, I don't see it happening at WrestleMania.
Yeah, I can see where you're coming from.
Extreme Rules.
Yes, exactly.
That'd be nice.
That would be nice. I'd like to see that. The big important moment that happened on Monday Night Raw, which pretty much changed the landscape for WrestleMania 30 and probably got them a lot more buys of the pay-per-view and or the network. Because a lot of people were pretty down on WrestleMania 30 as far as the main event goes. I mean, people were looking forward.
I know we were.
Yes, definitely.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people were looking forward to Undertaker and Brock Lesnar. And that's pretty much it.
Exactly.
And now with what transpired on Monday Night Raw this past Monday between Triple H, Stephanie, and Daniel Bryan, we now have another match added to the WrestleMania 30 card and possibly another one. Take a listen.
All right, Daniel, congratulations. You got your own little Occupy Raw movement. And while I'm happy all of you could have a moment, now this is the part where reality comes crashing down on all of you. You all, that includes all of you, have about 30 seconds to get out of our ring before we call security and have you all arrested. I'll give you the 30. Talk amongst yourselves.
We have one of those clocks on the screen now. I don't think they're going anywhere.
Come on. I know the fat guy right up front doesn't have much more in him. I can see him sweating. Come on. Give it to me, Chubby. Come on. Oh, you petered out, didn't you? That's too bad, because your 30 seconds of glory are up, you losers. Security!
Good.
Wait a second, Hunter. You want us to leave? What do you think if everybody here in this Coliseum just walks out to the parking lot right now? We can set up our own ring, and you can have Raw in front of an arena of empty chairs. What do you think about that, Hunter?
I think they'd do it too.
Security! Throw all these people out. That's it.
Uh-oh, guys, here they come. Here they come. All two of them. All two of them.
How are they going to get rid of all these people?
They're not. This is disrespectful. This is an embarrassment.
Well, why do you go do something, John? You go remove all these people.
Do your job and
clear that ring. Listen, all of you are being manipulated by Daniel Bryan. But you're too blind to see it. You're wrapped up in this power trip. Listen, power can go to your heads, okay? But it's false power, it's false pride, and Daniel Bryan is the wrong horse to back. You really think Daniel Bryan is worth it?
I've never seen anything like
You see,
this.
Stephanie, Hunter, this is the problem. You guys and people like you underestimate the power of these people. Stephanie, last week you told everybody here that you own this ring, that you own this arena, that you own me, that you own these people. Guess what? You don't own any of this. We own this ring.
Look at that.
Daniel Bryan's hijacking a global television show.
This has got to be...
Don't you disrespect my family's name. My great-grandfather, my grandfather. When I was born, this place became mine. It is all mine. And I do own you. I do own you. Get out. I said get out. Get out. Get.
Don't you hear them, Stephanie? They're saying no. They are saying no. We are not leaving until we get what we want. And Hunter, you know exactly what we want. A match between you and me at WrestleMania 30.
This has got to be so embarrassing for Stephanie and Hunter.
It's embarrassing for Daniel Bryan.
Go ahead, Hunter. Give us what we want, and we'll give you your show back. It's as simple as that. You guys like to lay out ultimatums. I'm laying out an ultimatum too. You don't get your show back until we get what we want.
You want to know what the truth is, Daniel? Truth is, I actually like you. I actually saw something in you. So you know what? I took it upon myself to try to protect you. To protect you from everything that would happen when you were successful. You would be run out of here. So I tried to protect you. I protected you in SummerSlam. I protected you ever since then. And what happens? This happens. You want to know why I didn't fight you at WrestleMania? For your own good, Daniel. Because I will end all of this. Because at WrestleMania, I will not stop until I end you. That's the way I operate. And that's the way it's going to be. You want to fight me at WrestleMania?
Oh, boy.
Then be careful what you wish for. You're on.
Oh, man! It's going to happen! Daniel Bryan got what he wanted!
Now, shut up and get the hell out of my ring.
Daniel Bryan pushed Triple H.
Wait. Hunter. I'm sorry, I didn't, I misspoke earlier. That's not exactly all that I want. You see, because as much as these people want to see me fight you at WrestleMania, what they really want is to see me fighting for the WWE World Heavyweight Championship.
Oh my gosh.
I like the sound of that.
So here is what we really want. If I beat you at WrestleMania 30, I get added to the WWE World Heavyweight Championship match. So that then the main event would be Randy Orton versus Batista versus Daniel Bryan.
Man, triple threat match. What? Oh, man. Hunter's going to blow a gasket here.
Here it comes, here it comes. Thank goodness for the security.
Why are you throwing a fit, Hunter? Why are you throwing a fit? Why are you throwing a fit?
You want that? You get all of it. You get me. You get your deal. Get out of my ring, and I am going to end this at WrestleMania. You can bet your ass.
Daniel Bryan has pushed the COO over the edge. And it worked. Daniel Bryan and the Yes Movement gets what it wants. Look at that. Not only a match with Triple H at WrestleMania, but if Daniel Bryan can beat the game, he's got an opportunity on the same night for the WWE World Heavyweight Championship. Yeah, and that is the game.
All right. Well, the longest clip we've ever played on the show, and it was for good reason, because I wanted everybody to hear every single bit of that, in case you didn't see it on Monday or on YouTube or however you may be watching Raw out there. I apologize for this ahead of time because I didn't set the scene up for you guys. Basically, Triple H and Stephanie were on the ramp, and Daniel Bryan was in the ring with probably 40, 50 fans or so.
Yeah.
Quote-unquote fans. We found out later on the dirt sheets that it was production crew and catering people and a few fans like the legendary Rick, the sign guy. If y'all don't know him, he wears the blue button-up shirt with the red backwards hat. You've probably seen him at WrestleManias and Survivor Series and a whole bunch of other pay-per-views, and including Raws, and he says he goes to about 50 events a year, so all the power to him. Anyway, they invited him in the ring for this as a fan during the Occupy Raw movement, which seemed to be a direct mock of the Hijack Raw hashtag that was used by fans in Chicago last week, because the word Occupy is far more PG than the word hijack.
It was ridiculous, Hijack Raw.
I don't know, but you never know what's going to happen in Chicago.
Yeah.
You just have no idea. And like you said while we were listening to that clip, that's what they wanted in Chicago last week, but WWE knew that it would be far more crazy.
Yeah, it would have been a mess.
In Chicago.
You would have had actual fans trying to hop the barricade.
Right. And it would have gotten real ugly because that crowd in Chicago is always insane. Anyway, so you heard there that Triple H and Daniel Bryan will face off at WrestleMania. And if Triple H loses to Daniel Bryan, Daniel will be placed in the main event for the WWE World Heavyweight Championship against Batista and Randy Orton, therefore making it a triple threat. Finally. And we predicted that.
Mm-hmm.
I forget which episode it was, but it might have been last episode or maybe the one before that. But we definitely predicted it. It's out there. Trust me. Go back and listen. ATBWrestling.com. Anyway, predictions for Daniel Bryan and Triple H. Where does it end up on the card?
I know we said pre-show.
I'm sticking with that.
I'm going to not say it's going to be the pre-show. I think it might just be the first match.
To kick off the actual pay-per-view?
Yeah.
Okay. I could see that.
And then obviously Daniel Bryan's going to win.
So I went over this with Lee before we went live on the podcast here. But with the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal being on the card now and not in the pre-show like years past, I'm sticking with my prediction I made a while ago. And here we go. Bryan and Triple H will be on the pre-show on the WWE Network to drive viewership to those who may be purchasing the pay-per-view itself or maybe kind of on the ropes of ordering the network. Here's how I think it's going to go down, though. Daniel will be all jacked up by the crowd, 75,000 people chanting, yes, yes, yes. Triple H will be his calm, cool, confident self with Stephanie in his corner. The bell will ring. Note that. The bell will ring. Triple H will turn around, say something to kiss Stephanie, and turn around to a running knee from Daniel Bryan. Get pinned 1, 2, 3. Almost exactly how the Yes movement started a couple years ago at WrestleMania 28. Not only does it bring the Daniel Bryan saga full circle, but this puts Daniel Bryan over Triple H without making Triple H look weak because he was distracted by Stephanie, and Daniel doesn't get gassed before the main event at the end of the show. I think that just makes the most sense, personally.
I like it.
Whether it's on the pre-show or not, I don't know. But I think that's how the match is going to go down.
It's definitely not going to be back-to-back matches.
No, definitely not. I can't imagine. I can't see them doing that.
It's the WWE. They might do it.
Yeah, I mean, we've seen crazier things.
That's true.
Now, Chris McGew, friend of the show who runs the New Age Insiders, asked, did WWE save WrestleMania with that booking decision on Raw?
I have one word.
Yeah, I'm going to guess it's not going to be no, right?
It's definitely not going to be no.
And so what is the word?
Yes. Yes.
Keep going.
Yes.
Keep going.
Yes.
Keep going.
Yes.
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 Yes. Fingers up in the air. Were you fandangoing there?
That was the fandango. I was doing this. You just started doing the fandango.
I wish you guys could see that. But
I'm gonna have to start
unfortunately,
taking Instagram photos.
Yeah, unfortunately, it's only an audio show. But I do 100% agree with Lee that WWE did save WrestleMania with that booking decision on Raw, because a lot of people are clamoring for Daniel Bryan to be in the main event at WrestleMania, and this is kind of the way, or the one way he could be in the main event at WrestleMania, because it was already set. The Randy Orton's the world champion. Batista won the Rumble. Blah, blah, blah. There was no realistic way other than this to add Daniel to that main event. I think it was a great move. We predicted exactly a couple weeks ago that this was going to happen. And I'm happy to be right.
We predict a lot of things, but I think this is the biggest prediction that we're happy with.
Agreed. And I kind of mocked one of our fans on Twitter yesterday. I felt kind of bad about it afterwards because I seemed like kind of a jerk. But, he was telling me that I was crazy to be one of the people who think that Bryan was going to wrestle twice at WrestleMania. I was crazy to think that they were going to change the main event. And when this was announced, I mean, I can't see Triple H beating Daniel Bryan. I just can't see it.
I guess we're super crazy then.
It would be a lost cause. At this point. He's got to go over Triple H, but in a fashion that doesn't make Triple H look weak. He's not going to win clean, per se. I mean, the prediction I made technically is a clean win with no interference, but it'll be on Hunter's his own doing by kissing Stephanie and whatnot. It's not like an outside interference, ran in and distracted Triple H. But like I said, I'm so happy that we got that prediction right, and like you said, I'm proud of it, and I hope the end of it comes to fruition with 75,000 people in unison, just like the end of Raw in Providence a couple months ago, with Daniel just standing up and everyone just, yes, quiet, yes, quiet, yes, just perfect unison. There's no better way to fade WrestleMania 30 to black than with Daniel Bryan and the crowd chanting yes in unison.
Oh, is it April yet?
No, unfortunately it's not. And it's still pretty damn cold around here.
I heard from Bleacher Report a few days ago that Vince McMahon is going to be back in April.
After WrestleMania?
Yes.
Interesting.
So
where do you think they're going to go with that?
I have no idea.
Will he be like the boss Mr. McMahon character again?
Considering Stephanie and Hunter are, I call them Hunter, Triple H are sort of like the heels right now.
Yep.
I think Vince might come back.
The voice of reason, kind of?
The voice of reason.
I like it. I like that a lot. I don't know where they're going to go with it, but I do love the idea of Vince McMahon coming back, because that, for anybody that watched wrestling prior to 2005, Vince was a huge part of the show, and that's when the ratings were through the roof. I mean, Vince arguably has one of the more polarizing characters of all time with his rivalry with Austin, and joining with The Rock and joining with The Undertaker and going against The Undertaker.
DX thing.
Exactly. Like, Vince has been a part of all these huge major storylines, and it would be cool to see him back in the picture. Although he obviously won't be physical like he was before, because he's getting up there in age. He's probably, 65 now?
Yeah, he's still in really great shape.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I'm not debating that.
Yeah, he's not going to be wrestling anytime soon.
He's not going to win the Royal Rumble, and he's not going to win the WWE World Heavyweight Championship.
He might not be gassed like Batista was, though.
Yeah, but I think Vince would outlast Batista in a match at this point. But another question that Chris asked was, is it time to unify the mid-card titles?
No. These guys, mid-carders, they need something to reach for.
Right, but if you unify them, the Intercontinental, I would imagine, would be the one that's left.
Well, I don't think Dean Ambrose is ever going to get rid of his U.S. title.
Well, I mean, they may not have it in WWE anymore, but he might just hold on to the belt forever.
Yeah, that's true.
And not have to defend it anymore.
Yeah.
Because he's only defended it once.
Yep, pretty much.
When our girl Renee Young forced him to, pretty much. And Roman guilted him into it. But I kind of like the idea. I hate when we agree on everything, because it makes for a worse show.
Yeah.
So I'm going to go the other way. I'm going to go the Skip Bayless route on you, just to make an argument. But I do kind of like it, because with the WWE Network, you can go back and watch all these old pay-per-views and WrestleManias, and a huge match on the card was the Intercontinental Championship match. And a lot of guys like Shawn Michaels and legends, their first major title was the Intercontinental title. Now you see somebody win it, you're like, meh, okay. Like Santino's debut, he won the Intercontinental title. And that was kind of like the downfall of...
It was still pretty funny, though.
It was a great debut. It was brilliant the way they did it, and I enjoyed it very, very much, having him come out of the crowd in Italy and go over Umaga, rest in peace. But, I mean, look who's held it since then. Cody Rhodes held it and didn't defend it.
Isn't he the one that changed it to white?
Yes, I did appreciate that. The old Intercontinental belt was kind of ugly. I love the white one. It's very old school, and I thought him changing it to the white belt would kind of bring back some of the prestige. But you never know. I do like the idea, though. The U.S. title and the Intercontinental never get defended, so why have two different titles when we can just have one and have everybody who's going for those two not go for one? I don't know. I like the idea. Good question, Chris. Thank you. One more question that Chris asked was, should Dolph Ziggler move on from WWE?
Where would he go?
That's exactly my answer. I think you and I thought that pipe bomb that he dropped 5 or 6 weeks ago was going to be the Kickstarter for his career, but seemingly has done the exact opposite.
Mm-hmm.
Unfortunately, he's one of the best talents on the roster, and he's super exciting to watch in the ring. He's charismatic on the mic. I don't see what they're doing. I just don't get it. He's clearly one of the best talents they have, and they're just not utilizing it. Maybe they're pissed off at him about backstage running his mouth and blah, 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 but who doesn't do that? You hear that stuff on the dirt sheets all the time.
He does it a lot more. But he needs to.
Yeah, he has to. He has to make it himself known. And I don't know.
He was in a match against Batista on SmackDown a few weeks ago or something.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm thinking back at it. Why would he be facing Batista when you already know Batista's going to win?
Right. It's essentially just a throwaway match.
It's to make him look good.
And look what happened on the road to Elimination Chamber when Batista was facing Alberto Del Rio.
Mm-hmm.
Ziggler faced Del Rio on a Raw or a SmackDown. I can't remember which one it was. But Del Rio beat him in a minute and a half. Dolph Ziggler should not be a jobber. End of story. Around this time last year, Dolph Ziggler was the hottest thing going in WWE. Like we've said before, you and I were both at the Raw after WrestleMania, and we've never heard a pop like he had when his music hit to come cash in the Money in the Bank. And when we saw him in Boston, he had the World Heavyweight Championship, and it was really cool to see a guy who started as a cheerleader, started as a caddy for Chavo Guerrero, to see him work his ass off and work his way up to becoming World Heavyweight Champion. And it was really cool to see a young guy in that spot. Granted, in the match that he had with Chris Jericho at SmackDown, he got a concussion.
Mm-hmm.
And that was the end of his world title run. Do you think they would ever do that to anyone else?
No.
They would give him a couple weeks off, or
at least a couple weeks off.
Right. But I don't know. I'm frustrated talking about Ziggler because he's one of my favorite guys on the roster, and I don't know.
I don't think they have any faith in him.
It really bothers me that he's not getting pushed because his in-ring work speaks for itself.
It's brilliant.
It's absolutely fantastic. Another question we got was from Jamal Green, and he asked, can you talk about why fans are not clicking with corporate heel Randy Orton, and why are fans so sick of his persona?
Well, he is a heel, and he's supposed to make us mad and annoyed at him.
It also has to do with the fact that Randy Orton has been in the limelight since Evolution in 2003, 2004. Very similar to John Cena.
Mm-hmm.
And you see the reactions that John Cena is getting. He's a full-blown face, and he's still getting booed. The fans are tired of it. The fans are looking for, like we were discussing, Dolph Ziggler. Guys who aren't always in the limelight to be in the limelight. That's what they want.
Yep.
Look at what's happening with Daniel Bryan in the Yes Movement. We're getting what we wanted. And people are so happy. And people have put him so over, it's crazy.
I don't like Randy Orton when he's a face.
No.
I think he's very boring.
I agree. But I don't like this whole corporate kiss ass thing.
No. He needs to be
himself.
The Viper. Quote unquote the Viper.
Apex Predator or whatever.
He needs to kiss Stephanie McMahon and then RKO her or something.
With Triple H handcuffed to the ropes.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be nice. That was the epic heel stuff that Randy Orton used to pull off. But now it's just Triple H and Stephanie are speaking for him. And he's perfectly capable of speaking for himself. So, Jamal, I hope that was the answer you were looking for. But that's that. Moving on. Paul Heyman and The Undertaker had a nice little back and forth on Raw. And I will let you guys hear Paul Heyman address The Undertaker while he stood in the ring.
I came out here tonight to advocate the position that Undertaker, you preserve the greatest streak in sports, the greatest streak in entertainment, the greatest streak in sports entertainment. because so many of us, so many people just casually throw that number 21-0 around to the point where it almost trivializes the magnitude of your historic accomplishment. With your indulgence and with all due respect, sir, permit me to put this into historical perspective for everybody. Mr. WrestleMania himself, Shawn Michaels, never won 2 WrestleMania matches in a row. Triple H got to 2, but could never put 3 consecutive victories in a row. Hulk Hogan got to 3, but could never put 4 WrestleMania victories in a row. Stone Cold Steve Austin had a streak of 4, but could never get to 5. The same can be said for John Cena. 4 WrestleMania victories in a row, but never 5. Think about that, sir. Shawn Michaels, Triple H, Stone Cold Steve Austin, Hulk Hogan, John Cena, the biggest names in the history of WWE. But you, sir, Undertaker, you've had 21 consecutive victories in 21 WrestleMania matches. That is when a man becomes a myth. It's when a myth becomes a legend. It's when a legend becomes a deity of biblical proportions. Which is why, sir, I am here tonight to ask you not to step into the ring with Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania 30. Oh, come on. Everybody needs something to worship, and the WWE Universe worships you, and they worship the streak. And truth be told, after witnessing you this close at WrestleMania last year, I worship you, and I worship the streak. And Brock Lesnar is the reality that's going to come crashing down around the fantasy of 22-0. I will admit, Brock Lesnar is stepping into the unknown at WrestleMania because there is nothing like fighting you at WrestleMania. But it's not an unknown that Brock Lesnar needs to fear, Undertaker. It's an unknown that you, sir, need to fear. Because if you step into the ring at WrestleMania 30 with my client, your streak will be conquered by Brock Lesnar.
All right, 2 things here. I hated that.
So did I.
He listed off all these guys who have never won more than 4 WrestleMania matches in a row. He listed off, or he said that he's in awe and he is obsessed and he is amazed by the Undertaker's streak. Why bring that up when Undertaker is facing a guy who lost at WrestleMania last year?
I don't know. I understand. Kind of speechless at that.
I understand that Paul Heyman wants to build up the Undertaker, so that if Brock Lesnar somehow did beat Undertaker, it would be the greatest victory of all time. But when your client Phillip Brooks lost to him at WrestleMania last year, and now your current client Brock Lesnar is facing him this year and lost last year, just like your other client, I just don't get where he was going with that.
Maybe he's obsessed with breaking the streak or something. I don't know.
I mean, Paul Heyman's as good as it gets as far as promos go, but I just didn't understand the basis around that. And how that's helping out Brock Lesnar.
You don't need to build up The Undertaker either.
No.
He's the biggest thing in the WWE.
I mean, you could honestly say that the streak is as big of a deal as WrestleMania itself at this point.
Yeah.
I mean, every year WWE sells all these plaques and 21-0, here's a piece of the ring canvas from the match and blah blah blah. They're not going to let Brock Lesnar defeat that. It's not going to happen.
Undertaker, it wouldn't make any sense.
No. And here's what Undertaker had to say in response to Brock Lesnar.
Since you seem to be Brock Lesnar's messenger boy, I want you to take this back to him. The fear of death is far greater than the death itself. But the fear of the unknown is the greatest fear of all. And Mr. Heyman, there's one more thing. You tell your client, Brock Lesnar, if he shows up in New Orleans at WrestleMania 30, he will rest in peace.
Heyman looks very uncomfortable, doesn't he? Wouldn't you be? Yes. Wow.
All right, so the generic Undertaker responses. Blah, 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 blah. He will rest in peace.
I thought he would have put a stipulation in the match.
I would have hoped so, but it didn't. Obviously, didn't happen. It's too bad. Like we were saying before, I don't understand. I don't understand why Paul Heyman would be building Undertaker up like that in order to face Brock Lesnar, who lost to Triple H at WrestleMania last year.
He's not going to beat all of the segments that he did with Phil Brooks last year.
No, definitely not. I mean, Brock Lesnar can't talk.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there's a reason why Paul Heyman is with Brock Lesnar, and it's not just because he's funny and likes to interfere in matches.
What did I say? Brock Lesnar and Stephanie McMahon are brother and sister with their screaming.
Yes. Man, Stephanie's witch screams in the promo you guys heard earlier was very reminiscent of the Wicked Witch of the West from Wizard of Oz. I mean, that was scary to a point.
Get out of my ring. Her facial expressions too were pretty scary.
Crazy stuff. But how long do you think Undertaker's career will go for? I mean, he's going for 22-0 right now. He debuted at Survivor Series 1990 or 91? It's one of those.
91.
Okay. Should he lose? Not necessarily at WrestleMania, but do you think his career will end with a loss? I mean, look at guys like Shawn Michaels and Stone Cold Steve Austin and Ric Flair. They all retired from their WWE careers with losses. How do you see Undertaker's career coming to an end? Because he's 48 years old, it will be soon.
I'm guessing 2 more years, give him to age 50.
So go 24 now?
Yeah, and then have him lose at WrestleMania, but have him come back the next year and then end off his career on a win.
Now who does he lose to?
Cena.
Oh, God. People will hate him forever.
I know.
Oh, God.
Everyone hates Cena anyway, so
Everyone
why
hates
not?
Cena anyway.
I'm wearing a John Cena sweatshirt, okay?
Yes, she is. Everyone hates Cena as it is, just because of his Super Cena persona. But if he beats The Undertaker, he's a heel for life.
Mm-hmm. Well, he's been doing that whole you got to go through me to get respect in this company kind of thing. Recently, it's not going over well with me.
For somebody who's been in the company since 2002, you can't really say that to Undertaker. You got to go through me when I've been here 11 years less than you.
Mm-hmm.
Nah, I don't know. I don't see Taker losing, but I do see him losing not at WrestleMania. I think the streak is way too big for him to lose at WrestleMania, and money-wise, it's great for WWE. You could sell 21-0, 22-0, 23-0 T-shirts.
He wants to lose.
And Taker does?
Yeah.
Really?
He said in interviews that he wants to lose.
No, really?
Yeah.
To who?
Well, this year was supposed to be Daniel Bryan. Last year, Phil Brooks.
I heard that he wanted to face Daniel Bryan. I didn't hear he wanted to lose to Daniel Bryan. Wow. God, imagine that.
Mm-hmm.
Imagine that closing the show.
Oh, my God.
Daniel Bryan beating Undertaker?
Everyone would be chanting no.
Oh, my God. I can't imagine what that crowd reaction would be like.
I'm glad they didn't have that.
Oh, thank God.
That would have sucked.
Yeah. But I do see Undertaker losing in his last match, and for all intents and purposes, it should be Kane. Not this garbage corporate wife-beater wearing Kane. I'm talking full-on red and black leather bodysuit Kane with a mask.
Casket match?
Casket match? I mean, he
And
came
then
back
burn
from
him?
like 7 Buried Alive matches, so you can't really do that per se. But definitely maybe casket match. I could see that. Although, is that PG? Would
It's
they do that?
WrestleMania.
Would they do that
It's
in
PG.
PG?
It's PG-14. It's
True.
WrestleMania.
I don't know how they would do it. I can't imagine it would be Inferno. That'd be
I mean, they're not going to have a Buried Alive match. They're not going to have like one of those dumb matches.
yeah.
So.
Plus, they already ruined that whole gimmick because Taker came back 4 or 5 times.
Yeah.
From losing in Buried Alive matches.
Yeah.
And what are you going to bury him in like they did with Paul Bear at the Great American Bash and bury him in cement, where he actually can't come out?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I don't know. I mean, I think he will lose his last match, hopefully to Kane, because I mean their history goes back to 1997 and when Kane debuted and cost Undertaker the match against Shawn Michaels. But I don't know.
It's a loaded question.
It is a loaded question, and creative has a lot to deal with over the next couple of years, debating whether or not to have him lose or what's best for business. And like I was saying before, there's so much merchandise that can be sold with this streak, and it's so much money in it that I don't think they would cost themselves that, because 23-1 shirts won't sell.
No,
unless you give that 23-1 to the person who beats him. If it's not Kane, or maybe like an up-and-coming guy, and he runs with that for a couple of years. Be like, I'm the guy that beat Undertaker.
Mm-hmm.
I'm the guy that is the face of the company because I beat the Undertaker. I beat the streak. But, I don't know. That's another discussion for 3 years down the road when Undertaker is actually done or very close to being done.
Yes.
What else did... you wanted to discuss something about John Cena and Bray Wyatt, correct?
Did I?
I think you had something playing earlier, didn't you? Maybe not. Maybe I'm crazy.
Oh, they both sang on Raw.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
I think that was it.
It's just going to be promo fest between Bray Wyatt and John Cena over the next couple weeks. Like you said before, Hulk Hogan looks like he's going to be in John Cena's corner. Most likely the Wyatt family would be in Bray's, I would imagine. But I can't think of...
Do you see Hogan, like, getting into the ring at all? Or, like, clotheslining, or, like...
I don't know what the rules are as far as WWE's physical stuff goes, because he failed his physical, and that's why they already said that he wasn't going to be in ring action.
Yeah.
But you never know. It could just be for...
be outside of the ring. You can always go around it.
It could be a clothesline to a couple of the Wyatt family members. It could be a clothesline to Bray. Or who knows, maybe before he disappears into the abyss, he could clothesline John Cena.
I'd probably cheer for that.
The whole WrestleMania crowd will cheer for that. And because I can't picture in their first match together, Bray going over Cena clean.
Yeah, it's not going to be clean at all.
Maybe... I don't know. I feel like Hulk Hogan is going to get involved. And not in Cena's behalf. Whether it be a ref bump, knockout, most likely Mike Chioda, who'll probably be the referee in that match. Knock him out for about 10 minutes like they always do. And Hogan come in and take care of John Cena. Pull Bray Wyatt onto him. Could end like that. It could also be in John Cena's favor where he defeats the Wyatt family with the help of Hulk Hogan. There's a lot to ponder. And you just never know. And you just got to wait and watch WrestleMania on April 6th to find out what happens.
Mm-hmm.
And then we can go from there and discuss the fallout after that and see what happens on Raw the next night, which is always a fun Raw.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
I mean, look at Miami a couple years ago with all the chants, and then last year with all the chants. And that's seeming to happen a lot more. But when you have people from all these different countries coming into WrestleMania and most likely going to Raw the next night, it's a very passionate fan base that goes. It's not New Orleans, it's not New York, New Jersey, it's not Miami fans. It's the world.
It's like Canada,
exactly,
London,
Saudi
Paris,
Arabia.
China,
exactly.
everybody.
So all the most passionate fans from all these other countries have all converged on one spot, which will be in what is it called, the arena down there? It's like Yogurt Fun Time or something.
It's like slushy something.
I can't remember it.
Or smoothie arena
Smoothie King.
thing. Yeah, Smoothie King.
There we go. The Smoothie King Arena in New Orleans.
Yes, it is.
The Mercedes-Benz Superdome and the Smoothie King Arena.
Because I think Lita made like a joke on Twitter.
Oh, did she?
A few weeks ago.
I didn't see that.
Saying that she needs like a large smoothie or something. I don't know.
Oh, Lita.
Yep.
You're so funny. Anyway, you got anything else to add? So pretty much.
I think that's other than the whole Real Americans thing that's going on. Like we said earlier, our prediction is Cesaro winning.
The Hulk Hogan. The Under the Giant Battle Royal.
Yes. I think Cesaro is going to throw Swagger over the top rope.
So those two will be the last two?
Maybe.
Or just over at some point during the match?
At some point.
Okay.
It'd be a quick throw over.
Interesting. And then Jack Swagger disappears into the abyss and is released in the post-Mania cuts.
That'd be great. And then he can go smoke his own stuff. And
have fun with that.
Yep.
That gimmick has got to be over. I'd love to see Swagger just...
Swagger's great in the ring.
They have nothing for him. They had something for him and he screwed it up.
He's not great with promos either. He's not great with talking.
No, he's not. And that's why Zeb Coulter's there.
Mm-hmm.
Same reason with Paul Heyman and Brock Lesnar. But, I don't know. I like that prediction, though. I'd like to see them kind of culminate their partnership and sort of feud at WrestleMania where Cesaro throws Jack Swagger over the top rope, kind of ending the Real Americans, per se.
Mm-hmm.
I like that. I definitely like that. But I covered everything I got over here. Anything else that we're missing from Raw? Or
Seth Rollins is a beast. That's pretty much it.
He sure is. Seth Rollins is, ever since Elimination Chamber, has been slowly making a name for himself in the ring. He was kind of the third out of three guys in the Shield for a while, and at the beginning, Dean was getting the push, and now it's Roman that's clearly getting the push. But Seth is kind of making a name for himself, and it's cool to see three guys who are supremely talented in the ring getting time. I just wish the same thing would happen with my boy Ziggy.
Maybe he should join the Shield before they break up.
Oh man, Ziggler in the Shield. Ziggler wearing Kevlar.
He already wears
pink
a
Kevlar.
silver vest, so just change it to black.
Pink or silver Kevlar. That'd be funny. That'd be awesome. But I think that's going to just about do it for After the Bell episode 6. Remember, folks, you can hear our show on both our YouTube channel and our official website. What is the website, Lee?
ATBWrestling.com.
You can find our YouTube page at youtube.com/ATBWrestling. You can follow Lee and I on Twitter. I'm at Bill_Neville, and she's at WWE_LCM. And, of course, After the Bell is on Twitter at ATBWrestling. And until next week, I'm Bill.
And I'm Lee.
And this has been After the Bell.